Chorning Moors. I had a typing session yesterday. Totally forgot about it. Kind of sucks. But I got a really good night's sleep last night. I slept from like 5:30 p.m. till like 6 in the morning. Making up for all the lost sleep from the night before, I guess. And the title says morning chores, but I think I'm actually going to just maybe play a little poker. Or maybe not, I don't know. I'm not a very good poker player. Granted, I'm not losing very much money in poker because I'm playing micro stakes. But still, you know, ironically, weirdly, I'm better at gambling that doesn't require any skill. As poker just takes too much patience. I'm just not that patient. Hi, G. Halal Plus. Halal Pro Max. I don't know what any of that means. I do have some morning chores. I could take Rachel's trash out, but I kind of want to do a little sweeping because the floors are so gross. It's just massive clumps of trouble hair everywhere. And if I could just pick up some of the big chunks of cat hair, that would be some progress. Hey, how about we go pick up some ladies? Porter, you need to stop having your mind on sex all the time. Look at my clothes, though. These are some great clothes I'm wearing. Any lady would be happy to see a guy in these clothes. Well, that's true, Porter. That's true. You do have some great clothes. I know because I made them myself. Anyway, I got up, at 6 or so, and went to microwave a cup of coffee, only to discover that apparently our microwave is broken. So we're going to have to get a new microwave, I guess. I think I'll make a regular pot of coffee. It'll be a fresh pot, with the pot of coffee maker rather than reheating old coffee. So I don't know how much a new microwave is going to cost, but I don't think they're super expensive. I guess we'll just order it in the mail. I don't want to drive all the way to where I could buy a microwave. Probably have to go to Merced. You'd probably get one in Oakhurst. And I might even be able to get a microwave at the hardware store. That's where I got the coffee pot from. But later on this morning, I think Cameron, Rachel, and I are going to go to the Gem and Mineral Show, which is at the fairgrounds yesterday and today. We didn't go yesterday, but I know Rachel really likes shiny things. She's kind of like a raccoon in that regard. She likes shiny things. Raccoons like shiny things, well established. Ah, morning lung. Morning lung's no fun. Morning lung's what happens when you try to pull up on it first thing in the morning and your lung's not opened up yet. Hi, Egan Davis. Not much. What's up with you? Lots of hearts for you as well. Hearts galore. Let's go make a pot of coffee. So I can have hot coffee since I woke up this morning to apparently a broken microwave. Now, Cameron's a bit of a miracle worker. He might know how to fix that. I don't know. I've never heard of anybody fixing a microwave before, but it's conceivable. I'm operating under the assumption that even Cameron can't fix the microwave. So we just have to get a new microwave. It's one of those things that I remember when they first came out, as a kid when microwaves first came out. And when we got one, and then quickly enough, my parents being like, I don't know how we ever lived without this. It's true, microwaves are pretty useful kitchen objects to have. I already watched you eat, kitty. Oh, what a mournful meow. Meow. Alright, I'll come watch you. Yes, I will. Alright, let's go watch the cat eat for a little bit. He's really into being watched eat. He's like, I'm putting on this great show for you over here. Why aren't you watching? It's true, Trouble. You're putting on a great show. Delicious. But you want to see something really delicious. Oh, yes. Temptations. Ooh, somebody's tempted. There you go, Temptations. He was tempted by his temptations. You like those? Yes, you're a good boy. Alright, that's enough watching you eat. So we do have some minor chores to do today. Including, but not limited to. Yeah, he slept right here. I didn't sleep. I was up all night looking for ladies. Porter. You have got a real questionable relationship with romance and sex. I think you might be exhibiting some toxic masculinity. I can't believe I bought a baby yesterday and it turned out he has toxic masculinity. Who would have expected that from a baby? Toxic masculinity. Ain't nothing toxic about boning a lady. You are so crass. Boning. They're not a fish, you know. Hi, Tire Tread. You've correctly identified my illness. I'm suffering from extreme ligma. I'm having a good day. Yeah, so far I just got up. But I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow I get my Adderall. And then I'm going to try to hammer out that other house, get that shit done ASAP so we can get the pictures taken and get that house off our hands. Sell that thing. So, you know, it's funny, I'm quite motivated these days in the morning. Oh, there's a band called Toxic Masculinity. Can you have some Addies? Ooh. You know, if you come over here, Adam, you can have as much weed as you want. I might be willing to kick you down one or two Addies, but those are pretty high preciousness to me, you know. Pretty high preciousness. And I'm going to get 60 30s, which is a teener, basically. I'm getting a teener of speed tomorrow. It's basically half an 8-ball of speed. Oh, you said Porter's band name is Toxic Masculinity. No, that's just his way of being. I did not get them. I get them tomorrow, gee, not today. I wish I had them right now. I never get them on Sunday because the pharmacy's closed. Hi, the man with the great machete. Yeah, this is pre big time streams, but you know, even tomorrow when I get it, I really want to try to prioritize getting that house ready for pictures ASAP. So I may be doing a limited amount of streaming right out the gate, just because it's gonna slow me down a little bit, you know. But excellent work. Excellent work. Tremendous, stupendous. I'd say that with these clothes, Porter goes from being a $1 baby to a $10 baby. I think the clothes I made for him add $9 worth of value to this baby. That's what I think. I think I should become a professional doll clothes maker. Probably not a huge earning potential in professional doll clothes maker, but you know, there's more to life than earning. Oh yeah, it's a fly outfit. He's pretty fly for a white baby. You gotta love golf. Do I? I don't mind golf. I don't really play golf. You know, I have played plenty of frisbee golf in my day. But it's actually quite hard on your arm, frisbee golf. Uh, I mean, when you get used to it, like when you play a lot, then it's fine. But if you play frisbee golf for the first time in a while, your arm will be super sore the next day. Regular golf's easier on the body. All right, coffee's almost done. Let's go get a cup. And then I want to get frisbee golf's great. Gee, I tell you, it's a lot of fun. You know, they have baskets that function as holes. Yeah, this is a band or a guy called Johnny. We saw him live, Rachel and I. This is the concert T-shirt. Got the dates of the concerts on the back, you know. But he actually only played a few of these shows. Then he hurt his voice, and he had to cancel the rest of the tour. So we got lucky. We saw like the second to last show on the tour, which was one of the first shows on the tour. So we were pretty stoked, and we both think it was the best show we've ever seen. He was fantastic. He was everything we had hoped. He played all the songs we hoped he'd play, except for maybe one that I hoped he played that he didn't. But like he didn't play "You Got a Man," which I would have liked to have heard. But other than that, it was a fantastic show. I loved it. Meow. What do you want? Want me to watch you eat some more? I just watched you eat. Alright, fresh cup of coffee. What? You gonna go outside? There. Now he's outside and we don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay, so I think I'm gonna pretty soon get a broom and just sweep up all the little shit on the tile floors. Oops. There. Don't want that to fall off. I'd like to go play mini golf. Mini golf sounds fun. But I don't know if I really want to go play mini golf in Fresno. Oh, for a regular golfer? Or are you talking about, oh yeah, golf? There are people who live on golf courses, you know? I had a relative in Louisiana who had a house on a golf course. I didn't even know if he golfed. Maybe he did. You do need a lot of money to be a big golfer guy, because golfing's expensive. That's why people who are serious golfers, they like join a golf course, right? So that they pay annual money and then they can play golf anytime they want. But I don't know why anybody likes golf that much. When NBA hires just one guitarist for a halftime show, do you know him? Just type first half in YouTube. Hurricane Matilda. Matilda sounds like such a harmless name. Doesn't seem like the kind of name you'd give to a hurricane. Kind of be like naming a Hurricane Bambi. Hurricane Bambi, huh? The acoustic slapper guitar guy, tremendous talent. I'm sure he is. But the real question is, can he make baby clothes? See, I can play the guitar a little bit, but I can also make baby clothes. I'm a man of many talents. Although, to be honest, I think Porter is actually probably smaller than any real life baby. Okay, now you got my curiosity piqued. What song is that? It's some rap song, right? He desperately seems like he's a good guitar player. I tell you, Beck has got some amazing songs. You know, like this album, Wero, is fantastic. Or at least it's got a couple of fantastic tracks on it. I've not listened to the whole album. E Pro is a good song too, but I'm looking for Wero. I could just type it in, I suppose. He's such a genius. It's unbelievable. You know, and it's like it's easy for me to miss his genius a little bit because he's an ENTP, and so it feels less genius to me than like INFJ genius does. But he's fucking genius. He's got so many amazing songs. It's crazy. That guy is a real artist. Deserving of everyone's praise and admiration. Let the handcuffs slip on your wrist. I'll let you be my chaperone. At the halfway home, a full grown man, but I'm not afraid to cry. Yeah, he's really a capable person. Highly capable. Like, um, I'm sure that guy's a great guitarist, but he's almost certainly not a good artist because those two things don't go hand in hand, right? If you if you prioritize skill on an instrument, you're not prioritizing being a good artist, you know. So, probably. I haven't listened to his original shit. He wasn't doing something original there. He was doing a cover, which is fine. I'm not critiquing that, but it's not indicative of anything. But yeah, it's almost always the case that when an individual is very good at like practicing things like scales and skills and stuff, then they're not a good artist. Just kind of goes hand in hand. TE doesn't work well with art. You guys want to see a cool mushroom? Let me show you this cool mushroom over here. Isn't that cute? Isn't that a cute little mushroom? Yes, it is. It is a cute little mushroom. It's actually quite a medium-sized mushroom. It's not little. I wouldn't call it big either, but you know, it's a decent-sized mushroom. So this big or so, this big around the top. I just thought, I was standing right here looking over there one day. I was like, huh, is that a little perfect mushroom in between the tufts of grass? And indeed it was. So let's take a look at our progress out back. Here's my muddy shoes to prove that there's progress out back. There's Cameron's muddy shoes and my muddy gloves. Okay, so the seedlings all seem to be doing fine. Some of them are doing finer than others, but you know, if some of them don't make it, I'll just plant some more seeds. And, yeah. And here's our in progress pond. The neighbors have frogs at their house, and they got frogs just by not emptying this little blue like miniature pool thing they have for their dog. I can show you. It's that blue thing right there, the little brown blue thing. Right there. And that filled up with the rains and stuff, and then frogs just found it. Now they have a bunch of frogs at their house. Well, I want frogs, so I'm making a pond, and hopefully frogs will come. I'm also planning on putting some goldfish in there, even though we all know that raccoons will come eat the goldfish. Cameron and I are going to go out in the little car today and get rocks from the wilderness. We still have to rock up the waterfall part that goes going to go down. And then we went to town yesterday and I bought a pump, a pond pump. This is a very small pond, you know. Doesn't need a whole lot of pumpage, but I got a pump and I got some tubing. See? This is 7 feet. You shouldn't need 7 feet, but I got extra just in case. Let's take a look. This is going to be plenty long enough. Yeah, that's plenty long. That's plenty long. We'll have to cut that a little bit shorter, but that's fine. That's not a big deal. Now, this, we're going to have to get an extension cord, and then I want to try to run this to the plug over here in a way that's not very visible, like kind of like bury it or something. Bring it up along here, and then come right along the edge of this thing here and plug it over here. That seems like a good plan, right? So then I'll have to like bury the cable or put rocks on top of it from here, like over to here. I'll have to get an extension cord. I'll maybe put some rocks over the extension cord here, like a thin white one, then bring it up against this thing here. And we should be able to hide that whole power cable without too much difficulty. And then I'll have a little water feature at my house. You know, it's like, this is the sort of thing I always wanted to do, like dig a little pond, but it was never my house, right? I couldn't do it when I was living in my dad's, that's for sure. He wouldn't even let me plant a tree. I mean, it was just a small tree. But now I can do this if I feel like it, and it's just like, it's nobody's business but mine and Rachel's. Nobody gets to complain about it. I mean, sure, you might say, Eric, that's dumb. Why are you doing that? But you know what? I don't care if it's dumb. I want to do it anyway. I finally feel like myself again, you know? This is what I should have been doing the whole time, is playing like this, you know? Buying dolls and digging holes. That's life. You know, it's life well lived. But I've been so depressed, you know? Or something like that. You could call it depression. You could call it malaise. You could call it apathy. You could call it that word that means losing ability to find pleasure in things. I forget what the word is. It's a kind of a Greek word or something. That's a come out the other door. I forget what that word is. I never really learned it in the first place, but I've encountered it a few times. It's not exactly how to forget what it is, but I don't really know what it is. But I know it exists. Does anybody know what that word is? It means losing the ability to find pleasure in things. What do you want now? I'm in the ghetto. Anhedonia? That might be it, yeah. That might very well be it. Hey, darling. Yes, that's the word. Anhedonia. No, Rain got it, of course. Unsurprisingly, Rain got it. You know, it's an NTP thing. I'm pretty sure Rain's an INTP, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's basically one of the symptoms of depression, I think you could say, you know. That song is pure sex on a stick. Is that really where you want your sex? Do you want it on a stick? I mean, generally I try to keep sticks away from my sex, but you know, to each their own, I suppose. Chores, right. This is supposed to be motivating me to do some chores, not just walk around and chat. So the chick is native though? What chick? What chick are we talking about? Running Doe? That would be a good Indian name for a lady Indian. Running Doe. Or sprinting doe. Or leaping doe. If I think my TE is too good to be an INFJ and NE is too good to be ISTP and my NE is too bad to be an INTP, I mean, given my total lack of having typed you, I think you're an INTP. You seem like an INTP to me, and that's what you seem like to me. But if your TE is too good to be INFJ, like if you know you can pass the TE test, then you're definitely not an INFJ because that's a very definitive test. Okay, if when I ask you like break this into 5 steps, you can do that, then you're not an INFJ. You can eliminate that completely. ISTP is possible because ISTPs in the chat seem a lot more any than they do in talking to them in person because they have all the time they want to craft what they're going to say and then say it, you know. So that's plausible, but I think you're an INTP. I'm sorry. You say your NE is not good enough. Maybe it's not, but I'm that's just what I think. I've thought it for a long time. Every time I interact with you, I think, that guy's smart. Now, INFJs might be good at tricking me into thinking that, but not that good at it. Not the way that you are. It's theoretically possible, I suppose, that you could be like maybe ESTP, but I doubt it. I don't know. I'm. It's irresponsible of me to type people from the chat. I shouldn't even do that at all. Because I have thought for sure meow is gonna be a meow from the chat many times, and then I type them and they're not meow at all. So I know that I can't type people from the chat. Okay, thanks, Rain. Now that's a very INFJ thing to do, but it's also an INTP thing to do. Obviously, my bias is not a problem. It doesn't matter what I think going in. I trust the test results. Yeah, that's true for INTP, right? If you think your TE is too good for INFJ, well, that's consistent with uh, INTP, but it's also consistent with ISTP. So, all right. Do who really value TE? INTPs? Yeah, they do, but it's easy to mistake TE and SE. They don't seem to value at all SE. And because because actually attaining solvency involves not just figuring out how, but also doing it. It may seem like INTPs don't value TE very much, but that's just because they are associated with SE. What type would someone who aspires to be more SE? Well, I mean, I aspire to be more SE, right? Eighth slot. Eighth slot is definitely one who aspires. It's somewhat aspirational. Um, and also, I feel defensive because I feel like I'm not really good enough at it, right? But also, third slot. Third slot, you'll see third slot SE doing all kinds of shit. You don't need to worry about your manners one bit, okay? You're plenty mannerly for around here. Well, they're not too strict about that kind of stuff. Alright, so look what I'm going to do now. I'm going to get a broom and do some sweeping. It's much overdue. Okay. Now, we're going to put this down first. Don't try to sweep one-handed. That's a rule that you can all apply to life. Don't try to sweep one-handed. I'm full of wisdoms and truths for you. Today's wisdoms include, don't try to sweep one-handed. This horrible, horrible cat of ours. Just look at this. Look. How ridiculous is this? Horrible, horrible kitty, leaving horrible hairs. I mean, his cat shed an unbelievable amount. I don't understand how he had any hair left. Yeah, we're talking shit about you, Trouble. He's like, good, as long as you're paying attention to me. All publicity is good publicity. Thanks. I was gonna sweep in the bathroom, but I guess I have to wait now. Okay. Oh, I haven't told Rachel the bad news yet. That our microwave is broken. Okay, remember the rule, don't sweep one-handed, so I'm going to put this down. Put this over here. Your hands will get, your wrists will get tired, especially if you try to sweep one-handed. And by the way, even though it's not officially okay, I give you permission to use the word broom as a verb. So you could say that I'm sweeping right now, but you can also say that I'm brooming right now. I knocked this thing off up here. I'll put it back up there. I don't know what that is, but I think Rachel put it there. It looks like it's jade, but I'm sure it's probably not actually jade. Sorry, Spider, you're getting swept up too. Alright, now let's get the scooper. Hi, beautiful.
Hi, beautiful.
How you doing?
Good. So the microwave's not working?
Yeah, the microwave seems to be broken.
Oh.
I will ask Cameron if he happens to know how to fix a microwave. I'm assuming he doesn't. I never heard of anybody ever fixing a microwave
Me
before.
neither.
But I'll have to get a new one. And I'm thinking, probably would just order one online, but I need to go to the ATM to deposit cash.
Okay.
Get off, horrible hair. All right, there. Well, that's a start. Now what we could do is we could go into the kitchen, do a little sweeping in there. Certainly the kitchen always needs sweeping. Oh. Tomorrow is the day of Adderall. Hooray for me, hooray for Adderall. I'll have to make sure the doctor sent it in. He didn't send it in on Friday when I messaged him, which is fine because it doesn't come due till Monday, but usually he's pretty on top of that stuff. Okay. Okay. No. You go back there. Don't sweep one-handed, Eric. It makes your wrists tired. Okay. All right, now let's take the trash out. Just stay there. Okay, let's go. Trash number one. I need to go get the other trash can from the house. Tomorrow's trash day. Tonight's put the trash up on the street day. Sells your house. What sells my house? sell my house until I finish getting it ready for pictures. But that's tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll have Adderall and I'll have all the enthusiasm I can hope for getting shit accomplished. Those were the property taxes you were looking at. You been busy cleaning the kitchen today? Well, I just started doing a little cleaning myself. I think that might be about all the cleaning I have in me at the moment.
I think you did a great job.
Thanks, darling. We needed a little sweeping because
I know.
we have at least one full cat's worth of hair.
I was looking in the hallway and I was like, oh man, like there's so much for balls, like from trouble.
Yeah.
I felt bad that we didn't clean up before Cameron came, but it was tough.
You know, Cameron, I don't worry too much about Cameron. He's kind of like family, you know. So
yeah.
If he knows how we are,
That is true.
he probably thinks, "Wow, these guys are really doing great compared to how they used to do."
Yeah.
In terms of keeping things clean.
Yeah.
And you know, what's important is that his space up there is clean.
Mhm.
You know, he's got a clean room, clean sheets, clean pillowcases, all that stuff, and the bathroom upstairs is clean because it rarely gets any use. So, anyway, he's in the shower right now, sounds like, and I'm anticipating that when he comes down after we pull some bowls, maybe eat a little something or two.
Yeah.
Then we'll go to the Rain, you're distracting me with your interesting thoughts. Yeah, I would say maybe, Rain. It's true that NI people are more likely to be like, I was just thinking the same thing because the NI truth is the NI truth, right?
Mhm.
But I've never really thought about that before, but it's a good observation. I like that notion.
That happens to us a lot, where you'll verbalize the thing that I'm thinking.
But see, that would be contradictory to what we're saying, because I'm an NE type.
Well, okay, so maybe it happens the opposite way, where like it does happen where I'll be like, oh, I was just thinking that.
Well, I think you make me more NI too. I'm more likely to vocalize NI truths than I otherwise would be, probably. And in general, I'm very NI. I'm a very NI positive NE dom. You know, I really like NI a lot, and I don't know if that's always the case. I don't know if that's always been the case that I was as well. It definitely wasn't the case that I was as consciously aware of my preference for it because I didn't know about cognitive functions. You know.
I am more grounded because of you. I feel like SI, yeah, and your NE too. Like I'll be like, oh, I didn't even see that possibility.
Oh, it doesn't really matter, Rand. I think I was just talking about logistics, if I remember correctly, like what we're gonna do, right? I think we're gonna go to the Gem and Mineral show when Cameron gets out of the shower after we eat a couple of things.
I've noticed that here at Land that the links aren't clickable on the phone. That happens to me all the time.
I'm sorry to hear that you're BPD, David. That just means you were abused as a child. Well, that sounds like an FINE thing. More than a BPD thing. Being many different people in one day. Like Walt Whitman, famous ENFP poet, said, do I contradict myself? So I contradict myself. I contain multitudes.
Oh yeah, he did say that.
The Gem and Mineral Show.
Hey, Caroline.
I don't know if we're going to be live streaming, but I definitely will be making some shorts. Definitely make some shorts.
There was, last time we went, there was like this opal seller. I'm hoping that.
You're hoping they're back?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, bring some money.
I have the $40 that you get.
Okay,
I don't know how much I have.
We'll bring some more money. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
And you know what next weekend is? Is it next weekend? No, it's not next weekend. It's the first weekend in May. Is the Butterfly Festival.
Oh yeah, I can't believe that's happening already.
Yeah, and we are starting to see butterflies, so it's a good timing for the Butterfly Festival because we're just I still see a lot of caterpillars.
Yeah.
But we're starting to see butterflies. Hi, Fly Guy. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Man with a Great Machete. Anybody else I didn't say hi to? Hi, David. Hi, everybody. I, was busy doing important chores a second ago. Now I feel like I should throw some trash away. If something completely inexplicable happened, like you looked into your bag and found a live shark or something, is it possible for a human to move on without finding an explanation? Yeah, because I've had weird things happen before that I can't explain, and I know there must be an explanation for it, but I don't know what it is. So I just am okay. I have ambiguity tolerance, right? I'm okay with the idea that there is an explanation, but I don't know what it is, rather than paranormalizing, right? That's the other alternative, is to say, well, because I don't have any explanation for this, it's magic in some way. Why does this hurt so much right here?
Hey, David. Did you move your wrist in a weird way when you were?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's like, I can't come up with anything, any explanation for that giant cryptid caterpillar Rachel and I saw.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
And I just have to be like, well, I don't know what that was. I never will. And I know what it wasn't. It wasn't some injured creature.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't
chilling.
any other explanation.
No, it was just hanging out, crossing the road.
Crossing the road very slowly. It's like a loaf of bread sized giant caterpillar.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was like fuzzy.
And it's weird. Have you ever heard of anybody else ever describe a cryptid like that being a giant fuzzy caterpillar?
And we both
saw it clear as day.
Yeah.
Rachel also saw its face and said it had a flat face. I didn't really see its face very much, but
it was weird. No, it was not a gopher.
It was not a gopher.
It wasn't anything that looked
It
normal.
wasn't anything normal.
Yeah.
It was a giant loaf of bread sized caterpillar.
Yeah, with like
and it moved like a caterpillar.
Yeah.
And it was all furry like a caterpillar.
But
it was not a rat either.
No.
No. It wasn't any of those things. So what do you do if you can't come up with any explanation for it? You just say, well, you do what Rachel and I are doing now. We saw a cryptid.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm convinced.
We paranormalize it.
Yeah, because the thing that we both saw it. Yeah. We both looked at each other and were like, what the hell was that?
Yeah. It was in the clear daylight too, but in the morning. You know? It wasn't any twilight or shadows or anything. It was clear as day.
It's not a raccoon or a cougar. No, it didn't bother me. It was just chillfully walking across the street. Like da da da.
The thing is, it's like, it's not even something anybody would make up, right? Like, we saw a cryptid. Well, what kind of cryptid was it? Sasquatch or Loch Ness Monster? No, it was a big caterpillar. Well, that's not, nobody's going to make up that, right?
Yeah.
We're not making it up, obviously.
No.
And it was weird. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was. It was one of the weirdest things that I've ever seen in my life, too. And I'm glad that we both saw it, because if, one of us saw it and the other one didn't, I think it would be hard to explain what...
Right.
we've seen.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. It happened so fast.
We saw it. We drove past it. I should have stopped the car, but there wasn't any good place to stop right there.
No,
So
we were like, huh?
No, we didn't
No,
document it. No, we were
It was so fast.
We come around a corner, we see it walking, we drive past it, and
I think we were confused.
yeah. No, it wasn't a brown blur. It was going pretty slow, right? It's like the part of the road where it's like 20 miles an hour because it's very super twisty. And it just, I regret not having stopped and documented it for sure.
But
I
it
regretted it
happened
many
so- I
times
know, but-
since. But we were on our way someplace.
Yeah.
We passed it. There wasn't any place to pull over, and we just continued on.
Yeah.
I wish I had stopped and gotten out of the car and fucking filmed it.
Sure,
But I didn't.
By that time, it happened so fast. By that time, it was already across the street and going where it was going.
Okay, well, you Google giant caterpillar cryptid. Maybe somebody else has seen one. I don't know. I'm glad we're going into town. I need more cigarettes. You be as skeptical as you want. We're just telling. It was here. It was right near our house. It was just down the street a little ways, maybe like 15 minutes from here.
Mm-hmm.
Before you even get to Triangle Road. The same place where I've seen two turtles crossing the road too. Right in that same area is where I've seen two turtles, and we saw that giant caterpillar. We saved a turtle yesterday. We pulled over. Broccoli Todd says they tried finding a giant caterpillar cryptid there. No other reports of such thing. That's bad if people find out about it. Well, I mean, we know about it. We don't know how to find it, right?
Yeah.
It's like we just saw it one time and that's it. We've seen a variety of things around here. Almost all of them normal. We've seen bears, bobcats, turkeys, quail. We saw a California mountain king snake, which was super awesome to see.
That was so pretty.
That was really cool.
California
mountain king snake.
Mountain king snake.
Yeah.
Snake.
They look like coral snakes. They're really gorgeous, but
I thought they
they're
were.
not
It was.
poisonous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
We've seen bears.
Yeah, we saw a bear. There's been a mountain lion near us, but we didn't know it was near us. California. Oh yeah, Fly Guy? I wonder. Yeah, mountain lions. It happened in the dark. Eric and I were like watching the sky at night, sky watching, and our neighbor was next to us on this side, Jared, was trying to let us know. And we were just like, oh, hi, you know, we were just waving hi. He was trying to let us know that there was a mountain lion in the area. That would be cool. If it does turn into a butterfly, that cryptid, or a moth, it'd be a big one. Cactus cat or the Fresno alien? We'll have to look that up. We saw, like, I saw a bear. We saw maybe two, but I remember seeing one hang, like, just sitting in a field, and it was like a teenager bear, maybe. And it was really cute. It had these big round ears. It was very, very cute. I was not expecting it to be as cute as it was. But as soon as we passed by it, it ran away. Yeah, we do get bears. Cactus cat sounds kind of adorable. It does. Broccoli Todd says, I think the cactus cat might be the thing you saw. Interesting. We gotta look it up. So, they did some research and they think it might be a cactus cat.
A cactus cat?
Yeah.
Let me Google it.
Yeah.
A cactus cat. Huh? Do they live around here?
A fly guy was doing some research. So he said it's either a cactus cat or a Fresno alien.
A Fresno alien? What's a Fresno alien? Cactus cat.
No. No.
No, it wasn't a cactus cat. Definitely wasn't a cactus cat. It was. I could, if I could find like a picture of a brown spiky caterpillar or brown furry caterpillar. Okay, so it was basically like this, but darker.
Yeah, and like longer.
Here.
And like thicker, like
yeah, it was like it was like a loaf of bread,
yeah.
but it was kind of looked like this.
Yeah, but it had a flat, like,
and it had a flat face
and only like 4 legs.
Well, I don't know. We didn't really see its legs.
It was like.
I mean, its fur went down over its feet, so you couldn't. It was like a cat. It moved like a caterpillar.
It had like.
You think it had 4 feet?
It had. I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
What I remember.
Well, I think I don't think we could see its feet. I think it just moved like a caterpillar. But you know, it doesn't look exactly like any of these, but it looks more like these things than. It looks kind of like this one, but not orange on the bottom. Just like this brown all the way around.
Do you have a lighter?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you know, way bigger. If this were the caterpillar, then that would be a giant hand.
Yeah, it was big.
Baby porcupine? Maybe a porcupine?
Let's see.
It could have been a porcupine, I guess. I don't know if there are porcupines
so
around
strange
here.
to me. There was nothing that made it look normal.
Oh, not porcupine cactus. Porcupine.
Porcupine baby. No.
No, it wasn't a porcupine. Porcupine baby?
Yeah, let's see what they look like when they're babies. No, see, because like the thing, well, maybe.
It was too big for a baby porcupine.
Yeah, it was bigger than.
It was like a loaf of like a big loaf of bread.
Sort of like that.
It did look sort of like a baby,
like
this
the first one or
like this one here.
Yeah.
It looked kind of like this.
Yeah.
A little bit, but it was too big for a baby porcupine. You've been trying to find a porcupine in the wild? Do porcupines live where you are? I don't think porcupines live around here.
Well, I'm not sure. We have so much wildlife. I'm not sure what lives here.
I'm surprised by the turtles.
Me too. Well, I guess it makes sense. There's a lot of water.
Do porcupines live in Yosemite? Yes, porcupines do live in Yosemite.
I mean, we could.
It could have been a porcupine, I guess.
I don't want to gaslight myself.
But it didn't. It wasn't.
It looks so weird.
It wasn't anything I've ever seen before.
That we like looked at each other and were like, oh, maybe it's that.
Yeah, we were both just like, wow, what was that giant caterpillar?
Yeah. I'm so glad we saw that together because honestly, if it was just one of us, we would have been like, no, it's not real.
You won't know you have a porcupine until your dog attacks one, huh? Well, if you guys want an answer, you can be like, they just saw a porcupine. But Rachel and I know better.
Yeah, we definitely do. I'll be right back.
What we saw might have been the pupa of Mothman. Have you considered that? A Mothman pupa? Pangolins live in forests and are super secretive. Well, I mean, I know what armadillos look like. Pangolins look like armadillos, and it wasn't an armadillo. You got to be really careful eating armadillos, by the way. You can eat them, but I know from watching. You talking about penises, fucker? Penises in the sky. Sky penises. Well, yeah, I know. I can't believe in it either, Rain. Like, I want to experience something so powerfully convincing that I just am a believer then. But, oh, you got a good point there, Fly Guy. You do have a good point. I guess you win that argument. I stand sullied in defeat. Talk about the dire wolves that were brought back from extinction. Well, apparently they're very similar to dire wolves, but yeah. You also like Chupacabra and Jersey Devil. If you believe in magic in a young girl's heart, then hopefully you're a young boy. Yeah, I'll say that as well. It's not a dire wolf brought back from extinction, but it includes some of their DNA, I guess. It also just goes to show you how wolves, dogs, and all varieties of the same are actually the same species. So, yeah. You know what I'm planning to do later today? I'm going to evolve. I'm gonna evolve myself some laser eyes, I think.
Laser eyes?
Mm-hmm.
For what?
Just for cutting things.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I don't know, just to show off, I guess. Hi, WJS. It is an old song lyric. I know, I'm familiar with it. They're designer pets that'll make someone rich. Quantum mechanics is falsifiable, though, just like classical mechanics was. Quantum mechanics is it's not as spooky as it seems. Because it's just like, hey, where does that ball that falls from a high height get its energy from? Well, it gets its energy from you putting it up there. Same thing with quantum, with spooky action at a distance. You have to put the other particle someplace first. That's where it gets the energy from, right? So it's not nearly as spooky as people think. No, I haven't seen any of his recent work, but I know his intellect is garbage. He has no capacity to do intellectual work. I know balls falling is not quantum mechanics, but the point is the same question of like, how does information get from particle A to particle B at a distance, right? Is the same question as how does that ball get the energy to fall back down to the ground? The answer is you put it up there. I mean, he doesn't know how to collect data, WJS. He doesn't know how to collect it. He's got no concept of falsifiability. He doesn't draw any distinctions between things that are mechanical or simply dichotomies. He's created a system in which you can have an ISFJ who looks exactly like an ENTP and vice versa. It makes no sense at all. He's arbitrarily drawing distinctions between this, that, and the other thing without any sense of how to make a case. You know, I'm a professional case maker. I know what I'm doing. He has no idea what he's doing.
Bueno.
Hey, how you doing, Cameron?
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah, no sane person talks about OPS. No intellectually rigorous person talks about it anyway. It's just a bunch of arbitrary distinctions being made and then purportedly verified by him and one other person agreeing. I'm out of coffee. You're not doing anybody any favors by sharing that link. I don't feel like arguing about cognitive functions with people who aren't even capable of understanding what they're talking about. What kind of question do you like answering most? Or is it too context dependent to be able to abstract? I mean, I like answering debate questions because then I don't get pushback on them. Like with cognitive functions, in order to have a meaningful argument about it, I have to go back to the beginning always because people have all kinds of misconceptions about it. There's no consensus. They can't Google it and find out that I'm correct, right? But with debate questions, if somebody says, well, is this a good argument or why is it or is it not or what kind of argument is it, I can explain that in very straightforward terms. Okay, well, what this guy is doing is producing a counter plan, and it's predicated on the idea that it's preferable to the advocacy being made. However, it's not exclusive of the advocacy being made, so the original advocate simply permuted, right? Like I might give an explanation like that. Nobody disputes it. They just say, oh, okay, that makes sense. You know what you're talking about. You're a professional debate coach. And if they Google it, they'll find out that other professional debate coaches all agree with me, you know? So I like answering those kind of questions because then I don't have to worry about this Dunning-Kruger phenomenon that exists in cognitive functions where people don't know enough to know how little they know about it. And there's no way they can Google it and confirm that I truly am correct about it. Type police videos are certainly popular. The thing is, they also cause a lot of grief, right? People do not like to have their type questioned at all. Especially the people who are wrong about their type, especially don't like to have it questioned. Must be TI true then, Eric? I don't know what you're talking about. The thing is, we can articulate what given claims, statements, questions, etc. are doing argumentationally. And if we're not aware of the mechanics of what's happening, we can't very well be correct about things. Okay, so I think I'm going to wrap this live stream up because we're getting ready to go to the Gem and Mineral show. Well, WJS, I get that you're quite adversarial to me, and that's certainly your prerogative. But anyway, I'll see you all later. I love you all very much, and have a great day.